From Lalate News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on Lalate.
It's a big midday here on Lalate with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In today's recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why you're likely to get more months of checks from those Democrats. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks, mostly application-based, are coming to you. And if you've gotten one sum of money but previously from this packet, from this channel, you're going to get a lot. And the Congress is coming back. On Monday, the House is back in session. And what is the breaking news? I'm going to show you in the final 15 minutes of this video. Then we cut to the big money that is in this stimulus, and it's all deliciousness. I'll explain all the incredible sums of money you're getting across the board. The biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel, it's $3.5 trillion, and it's confirmed. The President of the United States has pushed to get this money out the door. Meantime, breaking news about student loan debt forgiveness, and also breaking news about SNAP, and then the big raise of your benefits if you're on SSI and SSDI. And then the money that Purple Hawks are getting across the board. It's a big day with incredible great news. I'm excited you're here as we go into a big noontime, direct and live from Santa Monica, starting right now. Hey, good noontime, everybody. I hope you're having beautiful weather across the board. It is gorgeous here in Santa Monica, where I'm broadcasting live from you at noontime. We're going to go over that fourth stimulus check, but first, how's the weather where you are? Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from, and how's the weather? The YouTube alert system is not working, so if you have been wondering where have you been YouTube alerts been, they've been nowhere since Wednesday. I'm not the only channel, it's worldwide. So member alerts not coming out, so it's important for you to be alert to the programming schedule. I'll have more about that in a second, but first, how are you? Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. In this fourth stimulus check update 2021, so much breaking news. We'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why we have more Democrats than before saying need to do a recon, need to do a stimulus check. We'll go over all the incredible news as more people are speaking out saying stimulus check and more saying $2,000. Then we cut to the $3.5 trillion third stimulus recon and what's happening on Monday. They're coming on back, and I'll have all the breaking news in the second half of this video. Then the third part is the deal done. Well, in the final 15 minutes, say to the very end, we go over the big monies that are coming to you under fourth stimulus recon. It is the biggest payout we've ever seen, and I'll show you how you're going to pounce as a Purple Hawk and get massive sums of money. And then we'll go over all the details. But first, here is the programming schedule for today. If you're watching this show when it's airing live, you're watching our morning's programming schedule. The asterisk signifies it's a new show. After the show, you're in store for a benefit. Why? Because after this video's over, you don't have to do anything. It'll automatically take you into our afternoon schedule. After this video's over, within 6 seconds, it'll take you to the 1 o'clock afternoon show. It's a throwback. Then after that one, it'll automatically take you into the new afternoon show. It's at 3 o'clock. Then after that, it'll take you into Overnight's Crypto or into the 5 o'clock evening show. And then that evening show will take you again into the programming schedule thereafter. We have Street and Stimulus, which is a rerun, and then Sirloin, a rerun at 8 o'clock. And then we go into our late night shows. Overnights at 9 p.m. 11:30 is Purple. And then tomorrow morning, I'm back with you with a brand new set of shows. Tomorrow morning, before sunrise, 3 o'clock is Overnight's LA, then 3:30 is Street and Stimulus, and then a brand new early mornings LA at 4 a.m. So how you doing? Well, this fourth stimulus check of 2021, so much breaking details, but first subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Let's get to the details starting right now. Senate versus House, House versus Senate. There's more Democrats speaking out about how you need a stimulus check. Let's look and see what they're saying. The revolving statement is that it needs to be monthly, and the most reoccurring number is $2,000. So here we go. House, AOC, and Omar wrote the president a letter saying $2,000 stimulus check needs to be sent out monthly. So this one is monthly, and this one they say $2,000. Then the American petition, 3.8 million signatures now at, of Americans saying monthly $2,000. House Ways and Means members writing the president a letter saying it should be monthly for fourth stimulus. They do not give an amount. Then they say fifth stimulus for next year. They don't give an amount or whether it is monthly. Then we have the House bill, which I'll come back into a second. And finally, we have the Senators Warren and Sanders and also Wyden saying monthly, but they don't say an amount. When you look at that House bill, pandemic plus 1 year monthly stimulus check, that would amount to more than 12 checks, more than $13,000. And the breaking news across the board coming in today was that Apple announced this morning that its employees may stay home all the way into January because of Delta. Number two, that Ross department stores, which had blockbuster earnings earlier this year, has announced guidance for Q3, which is coming up later this year, quarter three. And they signal that they're looking at about 60 cent a share earnings, while Wall Street is looking for nearly double that amount. Why are they giving such low projections? Because of Delta. That means that you're likely to get the full extent of those checks from those House Democrats. So vote House or Senate. House or Senate, tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is right now. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Single individual, 75,000 less. Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, 150,000 less. Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Family of four, Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not a waivable check. So if you're at the beach this weekend, you do see the check, don't wave. Hey, check, how are you? Was that you on the surfing shot with Lalate with those videos? No, it wasn't you. Rude check, at least respond to me when I talk. It's not a rude check, not a waivable check. And it may not have ears because it's a check. Checks don't have ears. In the second half of this video, we cut to the incredible great news as Steny Hoyer has ordered them back in session. On a Monday, they're back to pass your fourth stimulus recon. I'll go over what part of it is being passed and the deliciousness. In the final 15 minutes of this video, stay to the very end, we go over the big money of $3.5 trillion. Why are you going to get bigger money than we've ever seen in the history of the channel? But first, let's get some money. Get that pen and paper out because I'm going to get you some big pot of money. And we're starting right now with rent, utilities, food, internet, and more. When we talked about rent and utilities, we thought maybe it was about $5,000 for rent. It's a lot more. And I'm really excited. Why? Because viewers are sending me private messages on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Not about the alert system being down on YouTube. They're saying that as well. But also that viewers are getting big sums of money. This morning, I got new messages from Sharon telling me just the last few days she got $2,700 for SNAP. And Lainey reporting to me just the last few days, she got $13,000 for rent. She also got PPP back in the day. And that joins the countless viewers who sent me messages all week long, and away we go. When we talk about rent, we talk about a lot more than a couple $100. Are you ready for this deliciousness? Here you go. Bam. Wow. Elizabeth, as a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP member, subscribing to this video. Hit the link for membership under this video, getting $27,000 for rent. Mark, $25,000 for rent. Nancy, $24,000. Richard, $22,000. And Nisi, $20,000. The success stories continue to come on in. Pamela got $12,000 for rent. Carla getting utilities and other items. Tiffany getting several items, including $13,000 for rent. Randy getting several items, including $6,000 for rent. Jennifer, a couple items, including $5,000 for rent. And Cecilia getting $1,200 for heap. That's a heap of heap. How much more other monies for utilities are viewers getting? Bam. Wow. Nancy getting $7,000 for utilities. Mark, $6,500 for utilities. And Angela, $5,000 for utilities. There's Nancy and Mark again. How are you? Two items. Can they go for a third? Let's look at SNAP. SNAP is money for food. How much are people getting for SNAP? Are you ready for this deliciousness? Oh my goodness, Louis, you're getting $18,000. Incredible. John, $10,000 to $12,000 annualized for SNAP. And Nancy, $5,000. She got to the triple crown. She got three items from this channel: rent, utilities, food, and internet. And who else joins her? There's Nisi, $23,000. Three items for Nisi and three items for Nancy at $32,000. And then there's Mark with two items at $32,000. Two items. Mark, what are you doing on my graphic about three items? I'll tell you what, why Mark is on my graphic with 2 items instead of 3. Because Mark had 2 items of 32,000, and for 5 days on air, I said to Mark, go get the third item. It's Snap. It's a Snap. That's why they call it Snap. It's easy to get it. And he did get it. In fact, within just a few days, less than 5 days, he got Snap. At the same time, he reached out to his neighbor. As he tells me, told that neighbor, that Lalate, he's the real deal. Watch that kid. He's getting people big sums of money. So what do you think he got for Snap? He did not get a couple $100s for Snap. In fact, his neighbor got $20,000 for rent in just a few days. How much in Snap do you think Mark got? He got $19,000, bringing his grand total for Mark to $50,500. And this is LA. This is what we've been doing since day one. We've been getting big sums of money. When we started this channel with EIDL loans and grants, people had applied for the loans were not getting approved. So I stepped forward and started making recordings to show people how to get that application approved, getting upwards of $25 million of EIDL loans approved, saving people's homes, their businesses, and their employees' homes. But then in fall of 2020, second stimulus was not coming. So I had to step forward and get people money for that as well. Sort of like now where fourth stimulus is not coming. And I got viewers $250,000. Like Tyrone and his family of 4 out of Boston getting rent for $15,000 from December to the spring. And now we're doing it again as Purple Hawks, but numbers we've never seen. If you thought Mark's numbers were bigger, then let me show you someone else. Lorraine. Oh my goodness, Lorraine got over $100,000 from this channel. Well, today is your day to be the next Lorraine and get those sums of money. Get a pen and paper ready. We're going to go over the big sums of money starting right now. Here's some introductory remarks. Number 1, I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to, so make sure you reach out to 6. Don't stop at the first and stop. Don't reach out to the first and stop. Let's say you reach out to a city and they say no. You don't stop because I'm going to show you 6. Number 2. It's likely the first one will say no. Each place has different eligibility, so if one says no, keep on reaching out to the next. Number 3, every state has money. There's money in every state. Now, if you're a very small city or very small county, it might not be at the city level, it may be higher. That's where we're going to go city, county, state. Next, it's important to listen to the keywords I say in the video. Viewers say it really helps them get approved. And finally, don't include new eligibility criteria in your mind that are simply untrue. I'm too old, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I have a surfboard behind me. Not the case for why they're, not the case of how they're paying out. Simply pick up the pen, pick up the phone, and call. And let's do it starting right now. 6 places, you ready? You can reach out to your city hall, your city house authority. Your county hall, your county house authority. Your state hall, your state house authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. You don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or donetta or donetto. They don't know those words. And there you go. If you got rent or utilities, post your success stories in the live chat. Todd got it and Michael got it. Let's turn to the next pot of money. It's the money coming back from your states, of money coming back to you from SNAP. SNAP is a SNAP. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture. Reach out to Department of Agriculture to get it. What is it? It's food. Eligibility is easier than a stimulus check. That's why it's a SNAP. And Lynn Glenn got it for herself and her son, and her mom, Gail, got it as well. Louis got $18,000. Mark got $19,000. And also the incredible details of everyone else, including the viewers in today's video. So how do you get it? Well, you reach out to the Department of Agriculture, and a family of 4 out of Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Why so much money? Because of 2 wonderful executive orders. But if you heard the breaking news live on air on Monday, this channel delivered it to you. Your SNAP benefits are going up. The executive orders are running out into September, so no one's getting those money lifts anymore. But there's better news. Biden reached out to Department of Agriculture, said pay more and pay more longer durations. And that's what they did. On Monday, the Department of Agriculture made the huge, major, wonderful news announcement. Everyone's SNAP benefits are going up. 25% on average, lifetime, automatic, starting in October. Oh my goodness. So if you've had a success story for SNAP, post in the live chat right now. And yes, Mark who got to $19,000 annualized will now be looking at $25,000. The next part of the money is the money coming back from your states due to overpayment of unemployment and a computer error. And we're killing it. We're only 14 minutes of this video. The money is landing direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. How do you Track it, contact your state, say, hi, state. Where's that check due to overpayment of computer error, of unemployment benefits and computer error? Oh, sorry, sir, I don't know. I've been out on the grass grazing. Sirloin, are you answering the phone there? More about where Sirloin has been coming up later. But boy, let's turn to that last pot of the money. It's the refund check coming back from IRS on that 2020 tax return. Todd got it, Margaret got it, and Michael got it. And Mark got it. He got $1,400. The average check is $1,200. It's a waivable check. I know, Mitch, that hurts your ears. You don't like to hear us getting checks, but more about that in a second. If you're in the live chat and you've not posted a success story for rent, utilities, mortgage, or homeowners assistance, do it. Because the spirit of this channel is me helping you and you helping others. And when you posted that success, you really help people across the board. A lot of people never knew this money existed until they found this channel. And a lot of people never knew the money was this big. People may have thought rent is a few $100s. It's not. And then utilities. You may have picked up the phone and called the utility company, but never thought of asking for this assistance. Then SNAP. A lot of people have never heard of SNAP till they found this channel. Larry Maui of Maui never found out about SNAP until he found me. And now he's getting $500 a month. And finally, we get an update about how big these numbers are. And we get inspired by Nisi and Art Sullivan, who got 3 items. And then we realize, wait a second, we should get 3 items and we should get a lot more money. And now you're seeing the bigger money than ever before. So let's go back to those unemployment benefits. How much, where, and when? They're lending by direct deposit, otherwise in the mail this month. You can track it at irs.gov 70% of the time. It'll reveal the tax return you filed and the taxes you paid. And then it'll reveal stuff you wish you'd never seen. Like it'll reveal when Bernie gets those mittens for the cold weather. Is one named Nancy, another one named Chucky? And 70% of the time it'll reveal the refund check you came back from IRS. Can we top that? Yes, as we go into the second part of your fourth stimulus check update 2021, starting right now. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people under the fourth stimulus recon. Now, the recon, I can say, is passed for the following reasons. 1, they agreed upon the price tag before they started the process. Number 2, the Senate has already passed the recon. Number 3, on Monday, they're calling the vote for the recon price tag. And number 4, all they got to do is call the final vote. The only question is how they're dispersing the money. The recon is all money for you. This is in addition to the stimulus checks, a push on a way to get stimulus checks in there additionally. But the recon, all the other checks, are generally application-based, guaranteed to come into you. How did they do this? By taking the roads and bridges out of the recon. Originally, the roads and bridges were in there. The higher the price tag was on the recon beforehand, the harder it was to pass. Rights of conservative publication confirming my reporting. By allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, roads and bridges, and put in the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon became smaller. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable, and vice versa. Last week, they both passed the Senate. Next week, they pass the House. How did we get to this wonderful spot? Well, you're only going to hear this reporting on this channel that the Democratic House members and senators and the president met before they started this whole process to agree upon a price tag. That price tag, $3.5 trillion. So when they call that vote next week, it's a done deal for the price of the package. That's what Representative Elon Omar wanted. We have to have a larger recon that goes as far as we want. And Representative Ricci Torres says we have to have a larger recon. You got it. $3.5 trillion. The president told the Democrats, protect my recon, because everything in there is progressive checks for you. And that's what Jolapal and Schott said the White House had told them. So what is a recon? What is a bipartisan? What is a recon procedural? What is a recon substantive? Let's go over all the details starting right now. A recon is your money. Bipartisan is roads and bridges, not your money. But the president of the United States has made very clear you have to put both items on his desk in the White House. Otherwise, he's not going to sign one. So let's go over the 2 paths. Path number 1, your money, recon. Also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill, also called the Democratic spending plan. Price tag $3.5 trillion. Bipartisan, not your money. This is roads and bridges, also called infrastructure. $1.5 trillion. We have 3 bodies of law to do: recon procedural, recon substantive, and bipartisan. But the great news is that the recon procedural will be done as early as Monday. That recon procedural really asks 2 very, very basic questions. Number 1, do you agree upon a price tag? And number 2, do you agree to how to split that price tag among committees of the Congress? And that is all you're doing for that vote. It's very simple. That is the vote that Steny Hoyer has called for Monday, saying that on August 23rd, all House members are ordered back in session and will be starting to vote as early as 6 p.m. that evening. There you go. So now Recon Substantive then goes over the issue of once we've dedicated money to committees, how much are they going to spend? And there you go. Pretty easy. So how do we get to the spot? From Jalopal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying Chuck called the vote on the recon. Well, it passed, now off to the House. That letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100 plus, who recently wrote the president a letter saying put monthly forced stimulus checks in that forced stimulus recon. Can we top that? Yes. As 7 members of the House Ways and Means Subcommittee recently wrote the president a letter saying we're going to be putting big checks in that forced stimulus recon monthly. Yes, that's the same House subcommittee that we talked about earlier in the video. You see, there's a lot of different legislators, both on the Senate side and the House side, that want to give you a stimulus check. House versus Senate, Senate versus House. They're all across the board. But what's important to understand is that is an addition to the recon. That is an addition to the recon. The recon is confirmed. The recon is going to pass. But in addition to that, we have the House bill providing stimulus checks. We have AOC and Omar saying they're going to give it to you. We have the House Ways and Means Committee members saying that they're going to give it to you. And then we have the senators saying they want to give it to you. Purple power, you got to push because ultimately we got to get this to the finish line. And can we top that? Yes, Biden did it. He got a beautiful body of law on the books. 7 weeks ago, he went overseas for an informal ceremonial signature, but the real one was just days ago. It's called the Global Minimum Corporate Tax Rate. And because it is now signed, you don't have to have it under forced stimulus recon. Make it easier to write the recon, easier to call the vote on the recon, easier to vote on the recon, easier to pass the recon because this confusing thing is not in there. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, a lot of breaking news. We'll go over the breaking news about the recon, what's happened on Monday, why this is so easy breezy, and why it's going to go faster and simpler than ever before. I'll go over why I believe the recon is confirmed and setting out all this big money. And I'll separate recon from stimulus checks so you see the differences across the board. And then we go over the breaking news about student loan debt forgiveness and SNAP, a little bit more about that as well, plus FIS stimulus. But first, if you have gotten one item over the last year that this channel has been around, you are sitting perfect for stimulus. If you got $100 for utilities or $500 for SNAP, you're ready to pounce because forced stimulus is generally application-based. If you haven't, pick up the phone and today's your day to get some money for rent or SNAP or utilities. Just like Mark and his neighbor who got it within just days. Just like the viewers who I started this video on and all the videos today where 2, 3, 4, 5 new viewers every few hours saying, I just got this money. I just got this money. Once you got the money, you have the skill set to take it into forced stimulus, and we're going to kill it. If you haven't gotten the other sums of money, then reach out to the community page. Go down the description of this video, see a link to the community page. It's news.la.com/community. Here's a little bit about them, and I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Noontime LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LA Daily for the excitement of the new LA live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LA at 9 a.m. Home LA returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LA at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LA Late. And the excitement continues right now at noontime, LA, live from Santa Monica on a beautiful weekend. I'm excited you're here. Lots of forced stimulus heating up as the big sums of money come into you under this forced stimulus package. In the final 15 minutes of this video, we'll go over all the incredible great news as this forced stimulus recon goes to a big vote on Monday. This is the biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. Big sums of money, and Purple Hawks are going to be ready to pounce. Then I go over all the incredible details and the provisions of what is in that forced stimulus recon, and then we turn to fist stimulus as well. And across the land, the president is trying to get this money out as soon as possible. Have all this money as well. Not a time to be a donetta or a donetto. And how are you? Thank you for joining me on a big noontime. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Yes, YouTube notifications have been down worldwide since Wednesday, so a lot of people are not getting alerts about videos. I'll have the programming scheduled for you again at the end of this video. It's also posted on our Twitter account, Facebook account, and Instagram as well. When running for the presidency, your current president, Joe Biden, said he was going to raise your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI. He did not deliver that, so now the Democrats are taking care of this for you in what's called fist stimulus. Fist stimulus heats up in just a few days. It starts drafting, and that drafting will begin in September. Then they'll do the vote about November, raising your benefits up a lifetime. How does this work? Step one is they look to raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll remove the asset cap, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go how this works starting right now. Step number one, they'll raise your benefits up. Who's you? You, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. That new benchmark is inflation, applied approximately in December for next year's benefits. How high? I'm reporting about 5% transitory, temporary spike before coming back down. This is huge because guess what? Once your benefits go up, they never go down. So let's do the analysis. First, they'll raise your benefits up. Then they'll apply the benchmark. And let's say it's 5%. That means your benefits will step up lifetime. If the inflation rate is 2% the year after that, you'll be at +2, +5%. Then they're going to move the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't stay on benefits and have more than $3,000 in hand. It's going to go away. They're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. And finally, the marriage penalty, it's going to go away. So if you have not been able to get married, and now you will be able to, you'll no longer fear loss of benefits. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will be able to get married and no longer fear the marriage penalty. And there you go. That is fist stimulus. Will there be a fist stimulus check? There will be. Those House Ways and Means Subcommittees members represent. Finally, if you're in the live chat and you have not become a Purple Hawk, what are you doing? Under this video is a link to become a member. Click that link and become a member today. It's important to do so because members are delivered via the YouTube community page, a breakdown of all the big money under first, second, and third stimulus and what's proposed under fourth and fifth. The big issue is the following, that when this channel launched, there was EIDL and EIDL loan. It was application-based. Then there was PUA. 2 days later, it was application-based. But in fall 2020, second stimulus checks were not coming. I said, hey, you got to get some other sums of money. You got to pay bills. And that's what I did. I got viewers $250,000 for rent. Tyrone and his family pounced. He saw from this channel, saw as how you get these big sums of money. In January, I launched the Purple Hawks. And what happened at the time was I said, hey, there's a $400 stimulus check. Sure, it's going to come automatic. Don't worry about it. But there's a lot of other application-based money under fourth stimulus. Lots of it. Under third stimulus, lots of it. And at the time I said it might be $14,000. Now you see viewers commonly getting over $25,000 for this channel from third stimulus. You saw Mark's neighbor who started the week with no money and then ended the week with $20,000 of rent. You saw Mark who went from no snap to $19,000 annualized in just a few days. And you saw the viewers early on this channel, early in this video today, and you've seen them all throughout this week getting $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $3,000, $2,000. Every few hours someone's getting money. They're picking up the phone and they're learning from the community page. Daily, I deliver to you a breakdown of all this big money under first, second, and third stimulus and everything proposed under fourth stimulus. So consider becoming a member. And yes, member notifications are currently disabled worldwide by YouTube. More about that in the final 15 minutes of this video. And with that, let's get to the final 15 minutes of this video starting right now. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people in this recon. Why can I say deal? Why can I say done? Number one, they agreed upon the price tag before they started the voting process. So this is a price tag they've already agreed upon. Number two, they don't need any Republicans to pass it. Number three, all the Democrats have already said they're going to pass it. Number four, all they have to do is decide how to split the money. That is all checks for you, but the voting process is simple. And that's what Steny Hoyer has set for Monday. He represents that on the 23rd, as early as 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they will start voting, but that's on the recon procedural. So after recon procedural, then we go into recon substantive. Now, what's important to understand is we don't actually wait to write the recon substantive. This is something that they have been doing all along. Recon substantive then addresses the question, how are they going to spend the money? Who are they going to spend the money on? And while we don't have the bill, we do have some indications of some of the proposals of where to spend the money. It's all on us. It's all checks for us, all different types, but different amounts for different groups. Here are some of the proposed items, including across the board. Free school meals for all, checks. Cheaper prescription medication checks, money for farming checks. Then we have internet checks. Then we have money for workers alike, independent contractors, single unions, workers, and collective bargaining as well. And lots of checks for seniors alike. Dental checks, vision checks, hearing care checks, and checks for eligibility. There you go. Let's go over more about that voting process. So, once they're done with that recon as early as Monday, then what? Well, this is the first time you're hearing this on this channel. That if you look at that Steny Hoyer comment, he says House members are ordered back into town and you're going to stay here until we're done with the whole process. Done with the whole process? Yeah. So that's basically saying you're not just coming back for one item and then going back home. You're saying until we're done. Your vacation is over on the 23rd. This is huge, but it also aligns with another thing that I've been reporting over the last week. I have been hearing that the recon substantive will go House to Senate, despite the fact that recon procedural went Senate to House. Why do I think this is great news? And why do I think it's indicated by the remark by Hoyer? Because he's saying, you're staying in town, you're going to the next thing. What's the next thing? Recon substantive. And there's no senators in town. They're gone. They're on recess. So recon substantive would likely start on the House side. Why do I like this? Number one, the House subcommittees are writing the legislation. Number two, the House members usually pay more than senators. Number three, the House members are more progressive. They spend more in money than moderate Democrats over on the Senate. And finally, I sort of like the House members going first because the senators can add more stuff on top of that with the vote-a-rama. Now, in this video, I've separated out the two different things so you understand recon, $3.5 trillion of checks coming from different departments across the U.S. government. And then stimulus checks, which is sort of different. So let's go over that again, which is important to separate. What they're doing with recon substantive, and they're saying, okay, how much money is going to each committee? So this committee gets $10, that committee gets $20. You heard it on this video, I talked about money for internet. Money for teeth. Well, the money for the teeth is not the same committee that does the money for the internet. And that is why these committees are dedicated different sums of money. These are application-based, which this channel has done since day one. All the stimulus packages have always been application-based from day one, whether it was first, second, or third, whether it was EBT or PUA or anything like that. And that is for the $3.5 trillion of checks. There's a push underway to put stimulus checks in there. Additionally, the stimulus checks don't need an application. They are how they've always been, automatically sent by Treasury. Treasury sends stimulus checks. They come from Treasury. You don't have to do anything. But when we talk about all the other checks in this recon, 3.5 trillion of them, the one type of checks that viewers are getting massive sums of payments under third stimulus, those are coming from committees. Just like how you picked up the phone to call for SNAP, SNAP doesn't come from Department of Treasury. You had to pick up the phone and call SNAP. Why is this great news for us? Because if you have been a Purple Hawk, you have been a viewer since day one and have gotten one item, you're going to be so ready under forced stimulus. Because forced stimulus, is 1,000% bigger than the prior stimulus packages. First, this big. Second, big, this big. Third, this big. Fourth is this big, with an enormous amount all for checks, where the last ones were 80, 90% for businesses, not for non-business people. And just like the prior stimulus packages, you'll have to pick up the phone or go to a website, generally to get these $3.5 trillion of checks, which is what you've done all along. You've always picked up the phone to call to get EBT or rent or SNAP or any of these items or PUA, and you've done it before. If you haven't done it and you did it this week, you must be feeling good, because going into fourth stimulus, you've learned the skill set from this channel. This channel has always been about people figuring out applications and getting things approved. In April of last year, the biggest stimulus items under first stimulus were application-based. For example, I launched this channel because people had applied for the EIDL loan, did not know why their applications were not getting approved. I had to fix it and show them how to do it, and they got approved. Then, on April 25th, it was not live yet in the nation. In fact, only 2 or 3 states were proposing at the time, but I had heard about PUA. People had no idea what it was. So I went on air and I explained, how do you do a PUA? What is a PUA? What is a PUA versus an FPUC? And I explained to viewers how to do it. And they learned and they listened. And viewers like Eileen Bellenkamp out of Florida got $15,000, but Florida was backlogged. And so I had to show her the routing times and things like that. That's how application-based happens. And PEBT, when third stimulus was heating up and second stimulus, I said, hey, the federal government has now said you can get an increase if your child has to stay at home because of the pandemic, and you can get an increase for this thing and that thing. But you have to pick up the phone. Another effort you had to take, but all paid off. Incredibly great news. So with that, if you have gotten one of these sums of money, you're going to get them under fourth stimulus. I'm going to be here along the way to ensure you understand it across the board. Meantime, if you heard earlier in this video or heard throughout the last few days, there has been an outage on YouTube so that no one is getting alerts of videos, especially members via the YouTube community page. No alerts are coming from email, virtually no alerts coming from cell phone. So what's important for you to know is the programming schedule. This show is easier. Why? Because this show, when it's done, is automatically going to take you into the next 3 shows. So you don't have to actually do anything. It's automatically going to roll you from show to show. The next show is Afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. It's a throwback show. This video will automatically take you there. Then when that video is over, that video will automatically take you to the next Afternoons Lalate at 3 p.m. Then that show will take you into Overnight's Crypto. And inside of Overnight's Crypto, when that show is running, I'll give you the link for the Evenings Lalate show, which is at 5 p.m. After that, Evenings Lalate, we have Street and Stimulus at 7 o'clock. We have Sirloin at 8 o'clock. And then we go into our overnight show. So you see, after 5 o'clock, we have an hour programming. Every hour, there's a new show. At the top of the hour, Street and Stimulus, Sirloin, Overnights, and then Purple at 11:30. Tomorrow morning, I'm back with new shows. At the top of the hour at 3 o'clock, then 3:30, and then a brand new show at 4 a.m. of Early Mornings LA. And with that, thank you for joining me across the board, and make sure you share and tell people when shows are coming on in because of the outage across the board. A copy of this programming schedule is being posted routinely throughout the day on Twitter, on Facebook, and Instagram. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day. Stay on this video. It'll take you to the next Afternoons LA, starting up next.